Okay, boys and girls, I have done it. I've gotten past the second video for Ben Eater's 6502 computer kit. You can definitely see his kit looks much different than the layout that I have here. And I was starting to run a lot of problems with wire management and being able to access chips, in addition to still being able to detect signals on the CPU using the Arduino here. So I had actually rearranged this thing twice. Had a lot of problems just trying to trace where things were not connected or where the wrong thing was connected to the wrong pin. It had to switch a few things around. But the whole goal tonight was to get these lights to blink in alternating positions. So right now I have a program loaded onto the ROM, which I actually program it. I slip the chip in here, connect it to the computer, and write to that ROM chip. And then the program loads up here, and the CPU keeps asking, what should I do now? What should I do now? And the ROM's like, okay, do this, now do that. But pretty much the ROM has all the instructions for the CPU, and he tells the CPU that this chip needs to be told certain things to do, and to jump at different positions on the program. So really, your ROM is kind of like a hard disk in this scenario, because that's all of your data, and then the CPU is just the brains. The clock module is the heartbeat, and pretty much this is your communication here. So the little lights tell me what's going on. I've been going through my notes like crazy. So, well, I've been just having to trace along the chip and making sure all the connections are right. But one of the nice things is this has two different ports. So there's 8 wires here for one port. I can connect up to 8 more for the A port. Like I could even connect it to a joystick like this. So, well, that's pretty much how the old Ataris worked anyway. That it used that chip. So Ben's been writing in Python to program the ROMs, whereas I've been writing in assembly. So I've been having fun learning how to write in assembly, and then I have to go ahead and verify in with a hex editor to verify the bytes were written out correctly. But I'm using this 6502 assembler by Loopy. I found a few problems with the code. Or actually, I don't think they're problems. I think it's just the way that I wrote it. All these numbers I had in reverse order. Or actually, this is the order that he wrote them in, but all of my wires were backwards. And I had a feeling they were backwards, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to write them down instead of reposition them, because they're very difficult to work with. And since they're already connected to those pins, I was like, okay, I'll just write them backwards. And then I'm also listening to the reset pin. And I changed the format of how he wrote it out, just so I could see the binary values and the hex values grouped together. So if I click the reset button, no, that's not the reset button. There we go. You can see the reset going up there. So I was having to close my console constantly, or clear it. But yeah, that makes things a lot easier. So here's another thing. This is the hex program, or hex viewer. It's not a hex program. This program actually writes the EEPROM out, so I can actually view the hex values here and just check out everything's correct and in working order. But yeah, this is amazing. I just gotta wait for his next video to come out. So part 3 of this project. But this has taken me 2 days. Just troubleshooting, but yeah, it works.